Hello everybody and welcome to the Ozarks Sports Report podcast. I'm here with the head coach of the Crane Pirates, Coach Brian Harmon. And for today's show, we're going to be doing another weekly recap with the head coach of the Crane Pirates, Coach Brian Harmon. Recapping the games from the past week, Crane was home and played Pleasant Hope and defeated them 17-1. Then they went on their final road game of the season to Morrisville and defeated them 10-0. Then they came back home for their final game of the regular season and played Reed Spring and fell to them 11-1. Coach, what was the main strategy coming into this week with Pleasant Hope, Morrisville, and Reed Spring?
Well, we wanted to continue the streak we were on. We came into the week with a 9-game winning streak, and we wanted to continue our good approach at the plate and continue to have good at-bats. Felt like we did that in the Pleasant Hope game really well. We hit the ball extremely well. Morrisville, it took us a while to get going. We struggled for 5 innings. Led 1-0 going into the 6th and put up 8 in the top of the 6th, and that really helped, and then added 1 in the 7th to win that 10-0. That's a very talented team, so I was very pleased. Reed Spring, we knew it'd be a tall task. Class 4 school, great program with Coach Funk, and scheduled that, kind of intentionally once we rained out with them early in the season, made sure we got it close to district time, so it was a really good opponent to play at this time, and hopefully that'll benefit us like we'd planned.
Now, with that strategy, what were the advantages that you saw from those 3 games with Pleasant Hope, Morrisville, and Reed Spring?
Pleasant Hope, we continued to play good defense. We extended our errorless game streak to 4, and which is big for us if you remember the way we started the season, where we were struggling defensively. And then had a couple miscues against Morrisville, but they were not costly. We were able to get around them. And then we didn't play real well against Reed Spring, but part of that's because they're such a good team, and they put pressure on us and made us make mistakes. But all in all, the strategy was to come in, and I feel like the advantages were that we continued what we had started.
Now, with those advantages that you saw in those 3 games with Morrisville, Pleasant Hope, and Reed Spring, what were the disadvantages that you saw from the Pleasant Hope game, the Reed Spring game, and the Morrisville game?
Well, I'd say defense has, let us down a little bit in the Reed Spring game. Not that we would have won it with better defense as much. We would have kept it closer, but they hit the ball extremely well. They hit it hard, and we commented that they kept finding holes and stuff, but they find holes because they hit it well and hit it hard. So we just need to clean up that defense, and I have no doubt we'll get a couple practices in this week, take the weekend off, and then on Monday we'll get a good practice in before we play on Tuesday. I think we'll be able to work on some things that we haven't got to practice a lot lately because we played so many games, but we'll get to work on some things, and we'll get some things ironed out.
Now, with those disadvantages that you had, what are the corrections that you're going to be making from those past 3 games with Pleasant Hope, Morrisville, and Reed Spring until your first game that's going to be either against Billings or Marionville in Class 2 District 11?
Well, I think we need to clean up some things, like I said. Tomorrow's practice is going to be a shorter practice just to rest our legs after 3 games in 3 days a week. But it's going to be a fundamental practice. We're going to work on some bunting, offensively and defensively, both bunt coverages. Work on some base running that we've kind of not done so well lately, and try to fix those things.
Now you guys have the Class 2 District 11 tournament coming up. That's going to be at New Covenant Academy on the west side of Springfield. And what it looks like, you guys will either play Billings or Marionville, which you played those 2 teams in the regular season. What's going to be the main approach that you're going to be bringing to the dinner table against either Billings or Marionville?
Well, really doesn't matter which one we play. We've got to come to play because, both teams are good and both teams are playing well of late. We need to focus on what we do well, and we need to pitch the ball well, and put pressure on their pitchers and their hitters and everybody in their lineup. If we can do those things, we like our chances.
Now, if you had any final words to say to the coaches of Paige Jones, Justin Crumpley, and Chris Funk that you guys played from Pleasant Hope, Morrisville, and Reed Spring, what would your final words be to those 3 coaches that you guys played this week?
Well, what a great group of coaches that we faced this week. We were lucky to go 2-1 in a week where we faced that quality of coaching. Coach Jones has been a successful coach, and he's back to Pleasant Hope where he originally started, and he's getting things going in the right direction there. Coach Crumpley always is ready. He's always prepared, and looks to make things happen. And then Coach Funk, he's a class act, and he's one of the most organized guys you'll see out there. Has a great coaching staff. Has a big coaching staff of him and 4 others, and he's just class act, a great Class 4 program, and they're in probably the toughest district in the state, maybe even regardless of class. But I see him being prepared and ready to go.
I'm here with the head coach of the Crane Pirates, Coach Brian Harmon. After a 17-1 victory over the Pleasant Hope Pirates here at Tootie Parsons Memorial Stadium. Coach, what was the main strategy? What was the main definition of this game coming into this game against Pleasant Hope?
Well, we came in not knowing a lot about them. We only play them once a year, and everything that I was getting on them was they're a lot better than last year, and they're a lot better, and they are. They didn't make a lot of mistakes. Last year we went over there and they made a lot of mistakes, and we capitalized on that. But today they didn't make a lot of mistakes. We just hit the ball extremely well. And, it turns out that they're a lot better than they were last year, but I feel like we're really improved as well. So, that's where we are. And I felt like we came out and did our job. And against a team that you don't know much about, that's always a good thing.
Now with that team that you don't know much about of Pleasant Hope and scoring 17 runs, what was the main thing that you told your hitters on how to play this team of Pleasant Hope, how to score these runs of 17 to beat Pleasant Hope? What was the main subject that you taught your hitters on how to beat Pleasant Hope tonight?
Well, we had a batting practice this morning, and we focused again, like we have been recently, on pitch selection and situational hitting. And since we've done that, we've been hitting the ball a lot better. We came out the first inning, we were kind of flat, and they gave us a couple of runs. We really didn't earn them. I don't think we got a hit the first inning, but after that, we hit the ball really well. And they put on some shifts that maybe cost us some extra base hits, but they were still base hits. They're playing in the gap, and we hit a ball that turns out to be a single that might have been a double or triple. But we just use that same strategy we've been using to see the ball and try to hunt our pitch as much as we can, and then have a specific two-strike approach that we use, and it seems to be working for us right now.
Now that two-strike approach that's been working for you guys, and you guys have Morrisville, you guys are going to Polk County tomorrow. What's going to be the main strategy coming up against Morrisville tomorrow in Polk County?
Well, the schedule's changed a little bit. They have a conference game to make up tomorrow at 4, so we're gonna go over a little later, and we're gonna play them at 6 o'clock after that conference game. So we'll get there a little bit early and at least get to see them a little bit. We saw them in the Jamboree, but that was a month and a half ago, and I feel like we're a lot better than we were at that point. So I'm sure they are as well. So we're just gonna go in and try to do the same things we've been doing, and try to be effective.
Now, if you had any words to say to the head coach at the Pleasant Hope Pirates, Coach Paige Jones, who used to coach at Hurley, what would your words be to the head coach of the Pleasant Hope Pirates and former head coach of the Hurley Tigers, Coach Paige Jones?
Well, Coach Jones and I had some battles in the years he was at Hurley. We always had tough games with him. We came out on top in a lot of those games. But we had some tough games. They were tough on us and pressured us, and I knew it'd be the same way today. Coach Jones has done a good job with that program. He has one senior. The rest of them are freshmen and sophomores, and they did some good things. They're going to get bigger and stronger as they mature more, and he's going to stay after them, and he's going to continue to work them, and I have no doubt that when we see them in the next year or two, they're going to be really good.
Thanks for taking the time with us, Coach Harmon, and we will talk to you tomorrow on Tuesday against Morrisville.
Thank you, Adam.
I'm here with the head coach of the Crane Pirates, Coach Brian Harmon, after a big 10-0 win over Morrisville. Coach, what was the game plan coming into this game against Morrisville tonight?
Well, we know they're a very talented team, and we know they had been struggling some of late, but we knew coming in that they could hit the ball. They are got some really good bats at the top of their lineup, and we got there early enough. We watched them play Conway and hit the ball well, and came up short in that one. But we knew we had to be prepared, and I feel like with the outcome we got, I feel like we were prepared.
Now we go on to the 5th inning with a very controversial call between Harley Howard and one of the base runners on first, and it looked like to be an obstruction call. What was your words on that play at first in the 5th inning?
Well, my first reaction was I just want to make sure nobody was hurt. But Harley did exactly as we teach when you're tagging a runner. You double up your hands, put the ball in your glove with your hand, and you do make a solid tag just so the umpire doesn't miss out that he's tagged. Just could have gone a little differently. We did get the out, but just a little competitiveness, a tough baseball play. Coach Crumpley and I spoke after that, and it's clean baseball, but rough baseball, and sometimes that happens.
Now, Wyatt Vaught gave up no runs, but gave up a few hits, and he and his offense backed him up with that 10-0 with those 10 runs. What would your words be to your offense and Wyatt Vaught tonight against Morrisville?
Well, the final score doesn't really tell the story of the game, because going into the 6th, it was a 1-0 game, and Wyatt had done a good job against a good lineup. I felt like he had better stuff than he's had recent weeks. Said he felt like he had a better feel for his curveball, and we saw the results of that. We had an umpire with a really big strike zone, and Wyatt took advantage of that, as did their pitchers. And then the offense plugged away. We struggled early and put that eight-run inning up in the 6th, and we were able to finish them off from there.
You guys are back home tomorrow against Reed Spring to close out the regular season. What's going to be the main dish that's going to be served at the dinner table between you guys and Reed Spring?
The main key is competitiveness. Coach Funk and I always talk about, we haven't beat him much over the years, or haven't beat him at all in the last few years, but he said, he's always scared to death when he plays us, because we always seem to play well against him. And, we just want to come in there and compete. And, we're playing well right now. We've won several in a row, but, we'd like to add to that going into the district. But this is a great opportunity to play in a Class 4 team, and a very talented Class 4 team right before the district. That they'll give us some looks that we haven't seen, and hopefully they prepare us for what's up to come next week.
Now, final words to say to the head coach of the Marion C. Early Panthers, or Morrisville, Coach Justin Crumpley. What would your final words be to the head coach of the Morrisville Panthers, Coach Justin Crumpley?
Coach and I talked after the game, and it's strange the way Misha sets up sometimes the postseason, and they're on the completely opposite side of the bracket. Two teams that are an hour apart, but we're separated in the bracket. So I told him, we don't play any of the teams in their district, but if there's anything I can help him with, I told him, that we'd do that, and he said, same from us, and we'll help each other out if we can, but we're competitors, and we had a nice, tough, competitive game today, and it's always fun.
Thanks for taking the time with us, Coach Harmon. Congratulations on that win against Morrisville, and we'll talk to you tomorrow against Reed Spring.
All right, thanks for your coverage.
Okay, that's going to wrap up our show for today. We hope you enjoyed our show. We hope you enjoyed us sitting down with the head coach of the Crane Pirates, Coach Brian Harmon. If you want to stay connected with them through their social media, be sure to like them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter. Their Twitter is at Crane_Coach. Once again, that's Crane_Coach on Twitter. And if you want to stay connected with us through our social media, be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and check out our website. Our website is ozarksportsreport.wixsite.com/Ozarks Sports Report. So for one final time, I want to say congratulations to head coach Brian Harmon on a great season. All in all, they ended the season at 19-5 once again. And we want to say best of luck to them in the Class 2 District 11 tournament that's going to be played at New Covenant Academy on the west side of Springfield, just right off the Kansas Expressway between Walnut Lawn and Battlefield there in Springfield. So I want to say thank you all for tuning into today's show, and we hope to see you guys in the next show. Have a good day, everybody.